What is up, YouTube? Zanrith here, doing a little work in the garage today. And the reason I'm doing work in the garage today is because it's a little wet out there, a little wet. We got a pond forming in the middle of the parking lot. So yeah, looks like a good time. So what are we doing today on this great garage day video? Got some spark plugs for the 300, and I got a K&N Air Filter for the ZX6R. The K&N came in last week, and I just haven't had time to get to it. And I was supposed to do those a couple thousand miles ago, and I missed it in the repair manual. I missed change spark plugs, so I'm going to do those now that it's basically out of fuel, so I can take the gas tank off pretty easy. And I'm going to see if there's an easier way to take the gas tank off than take off the red side fairing. I think what I can do is take, just like the ZX6R, take this fairing off here, goes down to here, and I can get to the bolt that's on the side of the tank, and I think I'll be able to lift the tank off without taking this big red guy off. But we'll find out. So I'm going to move some stuff around, push some water out of here, and we'll get to it. So I've got the ZX6R pulled into my work area, which is close to the door and under the light. So I got to take off this side fairing here and the one on the other side. And from what I read, it's take this off and just pull back on everything, and it'll pop right off, giving you access to the bottom of the tank, the seat, and everything. And I'll have to move these, so we'll move these onto the ZX3R. Voila. And try to pop those off. I'll get back to you guys when we got it off. Side fairing's off. I took the fairing up here off by taking these two bolts off. It just helped open it up. And then this little nut was the only thing that caused me a little problem. It's got to be fed in there somehow. Had to kind of wiggle it out, get a bar under it. It's a little rubber grommet with like a bolt on the back, or with a nut on the back, not a bolt. Duh. So I got to mess with that and see if I can get that back through the fairing. But that side's off, which gives me access to that bolt back there, maybe. Yeah, I think that's it. That's the oh, I can't get in there. That's the, come on, can't get it to focus. Anyways, bolt for the seat is back there. There it is. There, finally focused for me. So that should be able to give me access to the back of that. I love this. This is great, Kawasaki. They got just Velcro? Really? Okay. We'll play your game here, but I'm not impressed with that one. Kind of seems cheap to me, but you know, if it works, it works. If not, we'll just replace Velcro. Let me get the other side off. So here we are on the left side of the bike, and behind the little side cover here, there's where your fuses are, just for you guys who don't know, because I didn't until I popped it off. There's all your fuses right there. And like I said, I popped those two off, which also the bolt held this on. So now to separate these two, you gotta kind of pry up on it and get it out. So we'll take that off. So far, I've got that bolt in there. There you go, focus. Yeah, I got that bolt loose. What I recommend to anyone who does this, before you do it, is this is the small Allen wrench, which is a 4mm that comes in the bike's kit. And that's what I've used the whole time up until this point in the video. That's the only Allen wrench I've used. I would get a longer T-handle one or something different, because trying to get leverage on that bolt that's in there for the seat is kind of a pain. The other side was actually even harder. I had to get a pair of pliers on it to really get some leverage, because I mean, you're looking, there's not a whole lot of room there to get your hands in there, let alone any other tool. So a T-handle that could be maybe back here, so give you a little more leverage. So I'm gonna recommend that. I'm gonna go find one on Amazon. Put the link for that. Ooh, don't lose that. I'll put the link for that T-handle in the description below for you guys once I find one that I like. or a set maybe. But I brought the other two out, the 6 and 8. Haven't used them yet. I assume I'll need them at some point, but keep taking bolts off. If I find anything else. So far I've only used, like I said, I've only used the 4. Got a 6 and an 8 that come with it, but I've only had to use the 4 so far, even for these seat bolts. So we'll see if I have to use the other 2 or not. I just grabbed them out of the toolkit, but still kind of raining out. Not terrible right now, but I'm not risking going to get my tools out of my car and carrying them all the way back here now. Bolts are off, both sides. Let's see how hard the seat is to take off. Some of them you have to really slide them. This one, oh. Okay, let's just look at this. Hold up. They came off. That came off a lot easier than I thought. The 300 seat's harder to do than that. Let's get it. Okay, so it's on. Yeah, it's latched in the back. So I guess just lift up on the front and lift up. Okay, what do we got? That little nub goes in there and it's bolted in. Okay, so there you have access to your battery. Is that a throttle? That's your throttle play? I don't know what the hell that is. I haven't looked into it yet, and I'm trying to put stuff down. So what do we got here? Throttle, I'm gonna assume. Negative. I don't know what that is right now. Maybe auto choke. Who knows? Something. Another component. Figure it out. It's got cables running to it. But your battery and then your bolt that you have to loosen up to lift the gas tank up, because it's not going to come out. It's just going to lift up. There's a little hinge mechanism here. So loosen that up on the left side of the bike and loosen those 2 bolts, and the whole tank should lift up. Oh man, it's dirty. It's been sitting in the garage a couple days. So I skipped a little ahead here. I took the 2 bolts out here that went and secured the gas tank down there and there. That was the 6mm, and we're back to rain. So then lifted this up, and there's screws all the way around the tank, or all the way around the air box, not the tank, that you have to take out. Then there's one in the middle, and then there's a plug which is right here. This is must be an air sensor. Just unplug that, and the whole air box comes right out. And I don't think I have enough hands to do this, but trust me, I put the K&N Air Filter in. The old air filter came out, and it's super clean still, but I wanted the K&N because I did. So I found out that the quart oil jug, which this one's empty, works really well to hold this up so that I could work in here a little bit easier. So now I just reverse process, put all the bolts back in, plug the sensor back in, put the tank back down. Oh, there's a little reroute for the wire for the sensor here, which it looks like when you take the airbox apart it separates. So I didn't really have to pull that out beforehand. I could do it when I pulled the airbox off, but it just wiggles in there like that. So now it's just reversing it. And then after that's done, I'll fire it back up in the garage, of course, and be done with this for the night. Oh man. Huh. Shit. Just, yeah, I might have to move the bike. What the? Clogged gutter, I guess, huh? Cool. Gas tank's back on, bolted in, airbox, all that together, hose hooked up. Let's test it, see if this works. Make sure we don't get any cool airs in here. Okay, nothing so far. Good, good. Let's start it up. Okay, so besides being low on fuel, there it is. K&N Air Filter is installed. I'm going to throw the side fairings back on and call it a night out here. So back to these little grommets. I'm reinstalling the fairings, and I found a trick with the other side. Just pull in the bottom of it, nice and easy. Ooh, and it comes out, and catch it, don't let it fall. And then put it back through the top, which gives it a little pressure. You gotta wiggle it a bit. And we'll go right back in, and voila. It's reinserted. Oh, it's a little crooked, but it's basically in there. It's reinserted right where it should be. There it is, nice and flat. So it's right where it should be. And then to get them off, you just pull up on it pretty hard to separate the two. And you know, you can fold these over to make it a little easier. You can fold over the edges of it. Come on, camera, focus. There we go. So you can fold the edges over when you pull up on it, and it separates them nice and easy. But quick tip. Okay, the ZX6R is all back together, seat included. Let's see if she'll start up. Key, ignition, kill switch, and nope. There she goes. There it is, looks all good to me. That's how you put a K&N Air Filter in a ZX6R 2018. I think that means you can do it between 2013 and 18 if I'm not mistaken. Old air filter, not needed. Oh, let's get this out. Okay, so this is the box for it. Just 1 second, we'll do this. There's your air filter. It's a, what's the model number? Oh, KA6009. Okay. So there you go, guys. Till the next video, or if I decide to actually do the 300 today, we'll figure that out. See you around.
One.